This tutorial is for the Week 9 group assignment, tab number 3, Student Loan Comparison. Courtney and Demi Jo are new freshmen. Each woman decided to get the maximum student loan for their first semester, and neither of them take out any more student loans for the rest of their education. Both loans have an APR of 3.2% and were for $5,100. Courtney's loan is a subsidized student loan. This means the federal government pays the interest on the loan until 6 months after Courtney leaves school. This loan is need-based. Demi Jo's loan is an unsubsidized student loan. Interest begins to accrue as soon as the loan is taken out. This loan is not need-based, so anyone can get it. Over here, the questions are, if Courtney graduates in 4 years, how much money does she owe on her loan 6 months after graduation? So after 6 months, then she needs to start paying. Demi Jo graduates in 4 years. How much money does she owe on her loan 6 months after graduation? And she starts having to owe her loan as soon as she gets it. So she has 4 years, 6 months. And even though Courtney is in 4 years and 6 months as well, she doesn't have any sort of accrued interest on it because over here, as we've read, she doesn't have to pay anything until 6 months after she leaves school. So over here, let's actually work on Demi's first because I think hers will be a faster and easier calculation. The first thing we want to do is find the future value of something. I've gleaned the information and I put it over here so that I can cell reference. It makes it faster. I'm going to cell reference the rate and don't forget to divide it by n. In this case, because it would be monthly payments or accrued monthly, I'm going to do 12. The number of periods in this case is 12 months times how many different periods that 12 months occurs. And for Demi, hers starts as soon as she gets the loan. So she has her 4 years and 6 months, so 4.5 years. And I'm going to type in 4.5 instead of trying to cell reference something. Now we've gotten to payment. She hasn't made any payments yet, but she will. She hasn't. We're going to calculate how much without like paying it down. And then the present value will be her loan amount, which I can't reference right here, so I'm just going to type it in. This is cell J18, so we'll just type in J18. Hopefully on yours you can still cell reference that. Don't worry about the type, and I don't have to close the parenthesis because Excel has enough. Now, as you've learned in the past tutorials, this will come out negative, and I can change that by making the present value negative, or I can make the future value negative. I'm going to go ahead and leave it since it is how much she owes towards the towards this. We can just go ahead and I'm going to leave it negative. If you'd rather, go ahead and put in a negative sign so that it's positive, so that we can just discuss it. The next one, Courtney, hers will also be a future value, and her rate is the same, divided by 12, comma. The number of periods here are that she actually doesn't have to pay anything because the federal government is paying her interest for the 4 years, and she doesn't have to pay anything until 6 months later. So actually the number of periods for her is going to be 0. And just like with Demi, the payment is also 0, but the present value is, again, I can't reference it, so we're just going to write H. We'll type in H18 right there. And pressing enter will give us how much she will then owe, and I can do a negative here if you'd like to have that be a positive number, so I can make the comparison between the two. All right, I hope that helps you with the Week 9 group assignment for the rates of change, tab number 3.